Hello, I'm Robin. Welcome to Bookspin. The Game of Rat and Dragon is one of Cordwainer Smith's best-known stories. A good showcase for his uniquely creative and mind-bending concepts. And it's an absolute classic of 1950s short science fiction. This story was first published in Galaxy magazine, October 1955, and it's been anthologized many times since. Now, I have talked in a few videos now about this recurring theme of the terrible dangers of space travel, which keeps coming up in Smith's stories. This particular story continues this theme, but in quite a different form to what we've encountered so far, and it introduces some really intriguing and mind-boggling concepts. It's one of a number of his stories in which cats play a central role, and a very fascinating role too. They are critical to human survival in space. So, if you are an Ailurophile, this is definitely a story which you should consider reading. Now, at this point in Smith's feature history, faster than light travel is now a thing. It's known as planoforming. This is no longer just a technology in development. It's part and parcel of instrumentality civilization. A spaceship disappears into 2 dimensions, then jumps across space and reappears at a new point in space light years distant. That's planoforming. And while the technology is now safe to use, outer space itself contains many perils that makes it an extremely risky venture. So this is what the dragon in the title of this story refers to. Dragons are mysterious alien entities that materialize in deep space once you leave the solar system, and they rapidly attack human spaceships. The crew of any ship that falls prey to such an attack all die instantly, or they turn insane. And this becomes a major risk once you leave our solar system and set out planoforming across the galaxy. Now, the one weakness that the dragons have is that they are vulnerable to strong sources of light. This is why humans only encounter them in interstellar space. They don't reside near stars. So, in order to resist these attacks, humans have to deploy photonuclear light bombs to fight them. Okay? That's the one thing the dragons are vulnerable to. The thing is, these creatures, whatever they are, they move incredibly fast. They are almost impossible for humans to target. So, humanity has come up with a solution. Cats, of course, use cats to attack these things. Everybody knows how quick cats' reactions can be, right? So, how does this work? A human navigator, known as a pinlighter, is paired with a cat. Okay? The cat is their partner on the mission. Then a telepathic link is set up between the human and the cat by means of a device called a pinset. The cat is placed in a mini vessel alongside the spaceship. The human navigates the ship, and as soon as they encounter a dragon, the cat engages and operates the weaponry and fights the enemy. So this is our means of defense, which, believe it or not, is actually pretty effective. It's not foolproof. It's still a dangerous endeavor, but as a defensive strategy, partnering with the cats significantly shifts the odds in humanity's favor. these cats are good at what they do. It's a pretty wild premise. These dragons, by the way, the cats visualize them as rats. Okay, hence the rat part of the title of the story. So the rats or the dragons become the cat's prey. So that's how this idea works. And in this story, we follow 4 human pinlighters and the 4 cats that they have been partnered with. And we have one particular POV character whose name is Underhill. And we follow him and his cat on one of these starfaring missions. And in Underhill's case, he has been assigned a cat called Lady May. This is a remarkable little story. The telepathic communication between Underhill and Lady May is fascinating. It's a really interesting exploration of animal consciousness, I think, and it gives you quite an intriguing insight into a non-human mind. And that's the thing, right? In this story, the cats are just as much intriguing, fully developed characters in as much as possible in a short story of this length as the humans are. The cats are not just military assets, but partners and allies for the humans, each with their own personalities, their own quirks and their own strengths, and they are, of course, critical to our survival in space. So, it's only a short story, but it's an incredibly interesting concept, I think, and a very entertaining narrative. So, I think this story definitely deserves its place as a sci-fi classic and is worth checking out.